Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Saturday Stock Market Recap for December 20th, 2025. And yes, folks, we're almost at a new year. And remember, if you want to walk on this beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And, well, this week, the market, finally, we're seeing a Santa rally, which has lasted 2 days so far. And this coming week is a holiday week, which is usually positive for the market. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Santa to lead us into an even more positive year than we've already had. And our weekly stock analysis, well, back to Eli Lilly, which is now up 30% since we last visited this stock less than 3 months ago. And people were calling, or analysts were calling, for an $1,100 level for this stock when it was down around $800. And that's what we talked about last time we looked at this stock. Yeah, losing weight is very popular, especially if you just had to take a pill. And more results on that pill working and keeping the weight off has now sent Eli Lilly up to those once unbelievable heights. So in our ETF video, we look at the results of the top stocks in our top ETFs as usual. And over 7 years, our top stocks from the semiconductor index are up over 1,000%. Let's take a look. And we're just shy of 7 years by about 10 days. So let's take a look at these results. And let us zoom in on the S&P 500 index. And we can see that, wow, we had a rally. Could not reach the previous top over here, but we had a rally and then it failed from that. And we thought for sure we were going to go down and test this level once again. Well, it didn't make it. And good news came in about inflation on Thursday. And this market started shooting up. And right now, as I'm recording this, about an hour before the close of the market, we're up above this 20-day moving average. And it looks like we're going to take a shot at this 6,900 level. And it'll be the 6,920 level that we're looking at to see if we can make a new high. The only thing we see is that as we get into the holiday weeks here, these bands are coming together, so there's less volatility in the market, which is hard to believe after the beginning of this week almost tore our faces off. But the market recovered nicely on that inflation data, which means that the Fed has room to lower rates, maybe not January, but going into the March meeting. And we'll see what happens, folks. Now let's look at the S&P again with this indicator up here. And that's because this indicator is saying, hey, we just bottomed out here. And if the market can close up today, which it sure looks like it's going to, it will give us a buy signal on this indicator. And it'll turn this indicator up a little bit more, because if this black line can cross this red line over here, we're sitting pretty, folks. And when we look at the QQQs, the NASDAQ 100, which is up less than 1% this week, we could see that we went way below this 20-day moving average, which is the green line, and the 50-day moving average, which is the blue line. And the past 2 days have turned this 20-day moving average up, and it looks like we're going to close above that line today, folks. So that's very good. And notice the green line down here, that is volume. And we had nice volume on Thursday, and this is Friday. We expect light volume or lighter volume, but we still have a couple of hours before this market closes in here. And don't forget, today is options expiration date, so we're right at the end of the market. We're going to see some volume in here, come in here really quick, but we won't see that until tomorrow's chart. So the SPY protection, the December puts expire today. Well, I'm recording this on Friday. Expired today, Friday. And during the week, we sent out an alert to buy the March 575 put, which is actually lower than the February put that we bought 3 months ago. So it looks like the market is telling us that they expect less of a downturn than it did just a month ago. So that's what we look at. We keep looking at that price there. We say, okay, what is this going to cost and what is the market expecting? So that's one of the things we look at, the prices of those protective puts. And then with the QQQs, same thing. You could see how much cheaper than the March put is back in February. So right here, we could see how much more inexpensive the March put was 3 months from now than the February put when we bought this 3 months ago. So the volatility seems to be coming down in the market, even though it doesn't seem it. It's like the QQQ is up about 0.5% this week, and the S&P is almost down just a tad. And so if it wasn't for Thursday and Friday, we would be underwater, for at least for the week anyway. So folks, we had a tumultuous week, no doubt about it, and we're coming into a holiday week. So usually the market is good during the holiday week. So you go out there, you have a good weekend, you have a good holiday week coming up, and most of all, stay safe, be with your family, be with your loved ones, and we'll see you back here in a couple of days.